Manchester United pretty much edging towards the Premier League title as the run-in continues. Leaders are 11 points clear at this point with 8 games to go, and it's fair to say maybe a couple wins more and Manchester United will be Premier League champions for the 21st time in Gregg Popovich's first ever season as a football coach. It's been one of the most incredible stories of the season, a game in hand over the chasing pack, and it is fair to say that Manchester United will reign supreme as far as England is concerned. And that is really the reason. 61 goals in the league this season for Manchester United. Clean sheets have been very hard to come by this season, but with Manchester United in free scoring mode, who needs a goalkeeper and who needs a defence? Well, at Old Trafford today, David De Gea will start in goal as usual. Darmian, Tuanzebe, Rojo and Bertrand are the defence today. It's a 5-man midfield with Mkhitaryan, Mata, Matic, Carrick and Nicholas Mason getting his first start in his Manchester United shirt. Romelu Lukaku is the lone striker today. Reverse fixture, Swansea lost by I think it was 4 goals to 0 because Fabianski is in goal. Rangel is with Barnley, Van der Horn and Klaassen in their defence today. In the midfield it's Fer, Meza and Bradley. The forward three is Negueba with Andre Ayew, I believe, and Pabon with Wilfred Body on the bench once again. Well, Manchester United in these first 30 games have been nothing short of sensational. They lost against Chelsea, but that's only their 3rd loss of the entire season. And Swansea are being very stuck in with the tackles at the moment. The referee has not issued a card to anyone yet, but he might have to keep an eye on the Swansea players. And here is Jordan Ayew into Bradley. Marcus Rojo gets in front of it, and David De Gea clears it. Now the referee is going to pull it back for something. Marcus is going towards Marcus Rojo, I think. I'm not sure why. And do we have a penalty here? I think the referee could be pointing to the spot. Marcus Rojo could have given away a penalty. He has. It's a penalty for handball, I assume. Alright, so unbeknownst to me, it's a penalty decision. And Marcus Rojo here is very, very unfortunate here, because I can already tell you what's about to happen. His hand is going to fall towards the ball, and there's nothing he can do about it. I think that is the correct decision in a laws of the game sense, but what more can Marcus Rojo really do here? He's going for the ball, and he's got the ball with his knee first, and his arm has fallen towards the ball. I think it's because he kind of shields it as his momentum takes him to the ground. I think that's a fair decision in the grand scheme of it, but I really don't think Marcus Rojo can really do anything more here. His arm has gone towards the ball, and obviously he's kind of shielded it. And it came off Bertrand, I think, at one point. Yeah, his arm has pushed the ball afterwards. And actually, I think that is a fair decision. There's not a lot Rojo could really do about it. He's very unfortunate. But I think in the laws of the game, it is the correct one. Because Rojo, his arm falls towards the ball rather inherently there. And then obviously he pushes it towards De Gea. I don't think it's intentional, so that's the right decision not to book him. But I think in the laws of the game, I think that is the correct decision by the referee. Alright, so penalty then. And Swansea will take it. It's going to be Jordan Ayew to take it. And he stutters, and David De Gea is right there again. And a save penalty from David De Gea for probably the first time this season. And a poor penalty again from the opposing team. We've seen a lot of that this year. And Nicholas Mason is right on the ball himself, and Swansea almost conceded. Here's a Mkhitaryan into the box, and poor penalty by Jordan Ayew, and Swansea was meant to pay in the biggest way. And David De Gea, it's not a splendid save like he would do, but all he had to do was step towards the ball. It's a poor penalty. That's been the case for a lot of Manchester United's opponents this year. They've taken poor penalties, really. Mata heads towards Rojo in the box and cleared off the line. Mason gives it to Mata. Mata's into Rojo. Rojo is still in the box, you know. Marta again, back into the box towards Rojo with the shot. Marcus Rojo has scored. Goal for Manchester United of all people. It's Marcus Rojo again, I think. And he just stuck into the box, didn't he? He just stuck in the box like glue. He wouldn't leave. And Marta, he had to have a couple of bites at it, didn't he? It's great control from Rojo. Is that Mkhitaryan, actually? I'm not sure who that is. It looked like Rojo because he was still there. He was still in the box somewhere. Manchester United take a deserved lead. And it is Mkhitaryan. So my apologies. I was more fixated on the fact it was Marcus Rojo. It wasn't. It was Mkhitaryan with his first league goal of the season then. Manchester United in front, deservedly so. And Swansea really the masters of their own undoing with the missed penalty that should have been much better from Jordan standards. But David De Gea showing his prowess in goal, really. We all know that he's the best in the world, arguably. Oh, and pushed by Pavon on Darmian. It's free kick. One of the most remarkable stories in the Premier League since the days of Blackburn Rovers winning the league and then Leicester winning the league just recently. And Popovich has surpassed all of that with just how quickly he's adapted. Mkhitaryan, wonderful goal by Mkhitaryan, 2-0. Manchester United on fire. They want to wrap this league up. Beautiful movement here by Mkhitaryan. Lukaku, beautifully weighted pass. He's really been the assist person this year for Lukaku. Obviously he missed 3 months out with an injury. But Fabianski goes through, to be honest, but I don't think any goalkeeper is saving that shot. It's tremendous for Mkhitaryan. One of the players that probably was rumoured to be out the door in January for Alexis Sanchez for Arsenal, but that never happened. Gregg Popovich was eager to kind of weigh that down and go, no, I'm using the assets I already have. Alexis Sanchez, I love him as a player, but Arsenal will probably want to keep him. And with Arsene Wenger nearing his final season, a lot of people are saying, I think we're going to get a decision in a week or so, and Arsene Wenger stays on or not. A lot of people saying he won't. His time is up, and he's had a rather torrid last season. Arsenal not even in the top 10 at this point, unfortunately. Here's Fur, and here's a comeback goal for Swansea. No, Pavon has put it wide. Great praise from players and Popovich alike. And that's the end of the first half. And it looks like the future is now for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford has obviously scored so many goals this year. But today, Mkhitaryan is the man getting the goals. He has 2. And a poor penalty from Jordan Ayew early in the first half has been made to pay by Mkhitaryan and a red-hot Manchester United as they push towards a 14-point lead with 7 games to go. The title is all but confirmed. United 2, Swansea City 0 at the break. And, everyone's hoping that England's future is more in consideration than their present. Lukaku. It's not the case for United. Off the post from Lukaku. Mkhitaryan into the box towards Lukaku. Oh my goodness me, what a goal from Lukaku that is. And he was made to free roam in the box, wasn't he? I don't think it was any really in doubt. He kept running after the ball would hit the post. Mkhitaryan whips it in. And Lukaku is just made to do what he wants in the box. He just bullies his way in there. Great goal. And Romelu Lukaku makes it 3-0. And Manchester United beeline towards the Premier League title. And 9 goals for Lukaku. He's had a great return since returning from injury at the beginning of the season. Marcus Rashford has obviously scored the abundance of goals this year, but Lukaku has almost reached double figures, which for him is quite sensational. Manchester United 3, Swansea 0. And next for Manchester United, the big one, the biggest match in the English game against Liverpool at Old Trafford. And it could be another day of title celebration as they edge ever closer towards it. Lukaku whipped it in towards Fellaini, and the referee would have given a foul against Fellaini, I think for handball more than anything else. To see what Eddie Howe's Bournemouth can do in the relegation battle. And considering the battle at the top is a no contest, Fur has got back to his feet. Andre Ayew, it's gone in off David De Gea. And Jordan Ayew has scored. And then once again, David De Gea is just unlucky. David De Gea is just having the worst luck this season when it comes to clean sheets. Well, Fur does brilliantly to get back up on his feet and keep with the ball. And Ayew does put it towards De Gea, but for some reason the ball just goes through him again. And David De Gea is just having no luck keeping the ball out of the net. It is bizarre, but I don't think any Manchester United fan really cares, because the scoring powerhouse and is Manchester United more than makes up for it. David De Gea isn't carrying this team anymore. And even if he, well, can he really even do that? You know, he's conceded so many goals, and it's not through lack of form or lack of trying from David De Gea. It's just goals like that have been far too often for him, unfortunately. Let's put the ball back in. Lukaku! Instant reply. 4-1. And that's just Manchester United this season, isn't it? Well done to Lukaku. He's reached double figures. 10 goals in the league for Manchester United in his first season. It's a great cross from Bertrand, to be fair. And Lukaku just brings it down and hits it wonderfully there. As there's going to be a substitution. Looks like Jesse Lingard is coming on. And I think it's going to be for youngster Nicholas Mason. Wow, the youngster's really making a name for himself, isn't he? Still no goal for United, but he's getting ever closer. And his speed is really something to marvel at. But on the pitch, 4-1 to United. And it's another massive goals haul for Manchester United. 7 against Milton Keynes Dons, 6 against Stoke City, 4 against Swansea, I think in the first game of the second game of the season rather, and now 4 here. I think they scored about 3 or 4 at West Ham as well. Jordan Ayew. Marcus Rojo is giving it away. And this time he makes doubly sure that the ball is cleared. Manchester United just one game, well, it's hard to say how far they are away from the title, but I think a win against Liverpool next time out will more than guarantee it for them. They've taken another step today. They're, as of right now, 14 points clear at the top of the table. It's an almost insurmountable target now for Chelsea and the chasing pack, and considering that Manchester United have games in hand over the rest of the chasing pack, it really does look a formality now. Manchester United, another goal haul. United 4, Swansea 1. Well, there's a few crucial results in the rest of the Premier League today. We'll start at the Emirates Stadium, where, well, Arsenal's season really shows no sign of improving. They actually lost to Stoke City by 1-0 today. And many people just wondering what has gone wrong in what could be Arsene Wenger's last season as Arsenal manager. Brighton 1, Leicester City 1 was a draw there. That'll be a vital point for Brighton as their push towards safety. Liverpool, ahead of their clash with Manchester United coming next, they beat Crystal Palace by 2-1. Newcastle United beating Huddersfield by 1-0. But the big result is at the bottom. And Bournemouth have won again against third place Watford by 2-0. And I do believe, thanks to West Brom's draw, I do believe that puts Bournemouth out of the relegation zone for the first time this season. Let's take a look at the table just to be sure. And that is the case. Bournemouth out of the relegation zone for the first time this season. 2 points clear of safety. Back at the top, Manchester United 14-point lead over Chelsea now, and it shows no sign of evading. And it looks like Manchester United, with 7 games left, have all but wrapped up the title. Watford have played a game more than Chelsea and Manchester United at this point now, and their loss to Bournemouth leaves them in third place with still a bit of a cushion over Leicester City, who have jumped into the the top 4 places, my apologies, ahead of Everton, and Spurs are just losing more and more ground, but they do have a game in hand over the rest. Liverpool 7th, Southampton 8th, Stoke City go up to 9th with their win at the Emirates today. Manchester City are in 10th on 45 points, still with a chance of getting some more places. They've still actually got a chance of getting into the top 4, and the Manchester Derby is coming up soon. Arsenal sitting on 42 points And I think, to be fair, I do think Arsenal are really kind of safe. We're not really talking about Arsenal in the relegation battle, although it could be possible. But I really don't see Arsenal dropping that far down, although they have had a wretched season by all accounts. Brighton and Huddersfield, two of the promoted clubs, not safe yet, but edging towards it. As far as the third team, which was Newcastle United, concerned, they've actually got other relegation places as well. They're now taken by Crystal Palace, Swansea City, and bottom of the table West Brom, whose relegation is all, well, it's not sealed. They've still got a chance to get out as well. But the man of the year, the man of 2018, is Eddie Howe, and if he saves Bournemouth, who's to say he won't be Arsenal manager next year if Arsenal does decide to step down? Because right now, Eddie Howe is one of the greatest escapes in the Premier League for some time now. Bournemouth are rising, and can they make it? The biggest matchup in the English game, the reverse fixture, Manchester United and Liverpool. It's United's game in hand, I believe, and it's live next. It's fair to say, but if Manchester United put on a show here like they've done all season long, it could be the game that decides the title. Manchester United 14 points clear at the top with Chelsea with 7 games left to play. United have a game in hand over most of the top 4, and I think this is it, as the Manchester derby is now one of the kind of games that is kind of on the normal schedule, as it were. Manchester United do have to keep one eye on the Champions League, though, against Paris Saint-Germain. Gregg Popovich knows the importance of this fixture, especially to the Manchester United fans. There's two. There's this one, and there's the Manchester derby. Well, Liverpool not having the best of years under Johan Klopp, but it is certainly building for the future in his case, and everyone touting Liverpool to be title challengers in a season or two. David De Gea stays in goal from the Swansea match. Valencia is back in defence with Jones, Bailly and Luke Shaw. Midfield is a 3 with McTominay, Blind and Aaron Hillwood, of course, big game DNA. Pogba's ahead of them, and it's Martial and Rashford to bang in more goals for Manchester United this season, in where they've been scoring for fun. Klopp's team looks like this. And Kouris is in goal. And it's with Bolsover, Lovren, Matip and James Milner in right back today. Lallana's with Sean and Henderson. And up front it's Sadio Mane with Firmino and Coutinho. And Salah only making the bench, weirdly enough. Of all the traditional top 6, Manchester United have been the only one really firing on all cylinders 90% of the time. And let's not forget, Gregg Popovich has only lost once to the traditional top 6, and they went against Chelsea earlier. And who was that? It was Sadio Mane, and I think David De Gea had a splendid save. Yes, he did. Oh, what a save by David De Gea. We've not really said that a lot this season, but that is why David De Gea is regarded as the best in the world. That was a superb save from De Gea. And like we said, against Swansea, he might have conceded goals, David De Gea, but Manchester United have always scored more, and United haven't conceded that many. Anthony Martial is on the sprint. He's lost everybody that was ahead of him, and now he's found Marcus Rashford. It's it off the keeper. Quick fire start. Marcus Rashford, because of course, United 1 up within 4 minutes. Anthony Martial gliding down the other end of the pitch from the corner, and no one could catch Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford is onside, and he's put it in through the keeper. Now David De Gea has had a lot of that this season, where the ball has gone through him, and now the Liverpool keeper Kouris has the same issue, and Johan Klopp, well, you just can't stop them. Manchester United, you just cannot stop them. Marcus Rashford's 16th goal of the league season, which I believe means he's not top of the goal scoring charts, though. I believe there's a player from Swansea that's ahead. We'll have a look at all the totals at the end of the season, obviously, but and there we go. And as we look further down the league there, Chelsea on 56 points. Watford have kind of slowed down a little bit. They lost to Bournemouth as their push for survival continues. And it's fair to say that Antonio Conte, it looks better than it actually was for Chelsea. Because at one point, they were out of the top 4 and only on the brink of the top 10. Antonio Conte has turned it completely around. But no one, absolutely no one, has been able to deal with Gregg Popovich and Manchester United. They have been the powerhouses in the English game at least. Oh, that's a great tackle by Roberto Firmino. And now he's in the box. And Aaron Henwood calmly clears it as per usual. There's great significance in just how big their lead will be. Because it's not a question of if United win the title, it's when. To Blind. Aaron Henwood in the box and Karis denies him. And Marcus Rashford has put it in. And there's just no stopping Marcus Rashford at the moment. Another goal for the tremendous Marcus Rashford, who just doesn't have an off day. And well, Aaron Henwood here, he had to put it onto his right foot. Not the strongest shot he's ever struck, but he did put Karis into a save. But Marcus Rashford, he doesn't miss, does he? And a lot of goals like that have been conceding from Manchester United. They've got a goal that way for a change. They're getting goals that they normally concede. And it's all been the sensational play of Marcus Rashford. 17 goals now. And I think he's just nearing the top of the Golden Boot race. And if you ask me, I don't think there's anyone else who really deserves it. Marcus Rashford has been tremendous. He's never had a really off day. He will inevitably have an off patch. But it's hard to say when, because right now he's just looking like he can't have an off day. Even if he did have one, you wouldn't notice. His 13th year as a Manchester United player since signing on in 2005. And Firmino forces to save out De Gea. And is De Gea going to finally have one of those nights where he looks incomparable? Well, it's not. Didn't need to be saved, but you can never tell when you're down there. It's always easier up here in the commentary box than it is on the pitch. Henderson with the resulting corner. Half an hour in, Manchester United look all but comfortable, really. Firmino, oh, what a save by De Gea. He is going to have one of those nights, isn't he? David De Gea, splendid save. Look at this. Oh my goodness me, what a save. David De Gea falling into the net as he leaned back. Tremendous save. David De Gea is all of a sudden having one of those nights. And, well, if he keeps a clean sheet on this performance, he will more than have earned it, David De Gea. He saves the crucial ones, though. Even though he's had a bit of a lacking year in clean sheets, David De Gea, it's not been for want of, not making the important save when he has been called upon to make one. Here's Marcus Rashford. And here is Pogba. He lays it off. Aaron Henwood hits the bar. And Aaron Henwood, who has had a quiet season of scoring, has hit the bar. And Gregg Popovich probably gutted for his vice-captain, Firmino. Tackled by Jones. Tremendous first half from Manchester United in their bid to solidify this title. And Marcus Rashford with another 2 goals to add to what has been a sensational season for him. Aaron Henwood coming close a couple of times as well. And another honourable mention goes to David De Gea. Splendid saves tonight. And he looks back on top form. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0, as United dominate their biggest match in the English game. Touched onto the ball, it came loose. David De Gea, sensational. And I think Gomez will probably get booked for the challenge earlier, but it's probably not going to matter. And Manchester United and Marcus Rashford edging ever closer to that title. Gregg Popovich, what a year he's had. And I think it's safe to say that the title will be United's this season now. I think to win it at the Etihad Stadium would be probably just the icing on the cake now. But we don't know. I don't think the gap is big enough to be that. But they're certainly taking a step towards it tonight. 2 goals for more goals for the sensational Marcus Rashford. And David De Gea having a pretty decent night in terms of saves as well. And a clean sheet for him, the first one in a while. And it's just Manchester United. They are just sensational. Like we said before, it's a question of when rather than if It may even be the Etihad. Have a look at the table. But tonight, United sensational as always. United 2, Liverpool 0. So let's have a look at the top of the table. If my maths is correct, a win at Manchester City with Chelsea not equaling the result would mean that Manchester United would win the title, I believe. I could be wrong, but currently 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, about 16 clear of Chelsea at the moment, with about 18 points left to gain. So, if Manchester United win against City and Chelsea draw or lose, the title is United's. I could be wrong, but that's from what I've worked out. And wow, they have a chance to win the title with games to spare at the Etihad Stadium. There's going to be a party atmosphere in the red side of the stadium, willing their team on to win, and you wouldn't bet against them with the season they're having. Chelsea and Watford and Everton completing the top 4 as Spurs lose more ground, but they do have the game in hand over the others ahead. And there's not much change to the table overall, as we have still yet games to be played. Southampton probably made the gain up ahead of Liverpool with their loss tonight, and the table is as you were last time out. But if my maths is correct, and I'm going to have to work this out, Manchester United could win the title at the Etihad Stadium. And what a story that would be.